Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Dr. Movie. Meals on Wheels, or Movies on Wheels, or Reviews on Wheels, or, you come up with your own slogan. I don't care. It's too early to argue. Back with another edition here and finishing out this week with another full moon production. And we are going to talk about Head of the Family from 1996. Now, I can tell you already, just from, I just know how my mind works. This is one that I passed on, obviously, when it came out, all the way to now. Was even questionable about watching it now because of the artwork. Right? If that artwork doesn't grab you, you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not really interested. And surprisingly, this one is a lot of fun. It's a messed up movie. I had way more fun enjoying this one than I should have, I guess. But Head of the Family, 1996. It is a horror/comedy. Like I said, full moon, so you kind of know what you're getting there. Directed by Charles Band, which, honestly may have made this more fun than if somebody else was going to do it. I don't know, just throwing that out there. So let's talk about this. A man blackmails the mutant leader of a cold-blooded family into killing his lover's husband. Yeah, that's pretty fair. That's what it is. This is a strange one. Some things come to mind when I think about this movie, and not saying that they're totally related, but they just kind of run into each other. And what I mean by that is, it kind of gives me the feeling of The Burbs. It's not as good as The Burbs. Don't get me wrong here. But it has that feeling because you've got the weirdo neighbors, right? A la Fright Night. It kind of has that kind of feel in a way too. Very like Addams Family. Even House of a Thousand Corpses. There's elements of all that I feel in this movie. And again, I'm not comparing them to any of those movies. I'm just saying it just kind of reminds me of those. Just because of that, oh no, it's the creepy neighbors thing, right? Because we've all lived in some sort of neighborhood or something where that house down the road, that's the one you don't hang out at, right? That's where this happened. Those kind of stories, right? So this definitely has that. Let's talk about our cast here. Not a whole lot to go over. J.W. Para plays Myron, and Myron is the head of the family, which is basically a humongous head on a very small body, but it does have regular human-sized hands and half arms. Obviously this is something thrown together, and The Great Pretenders, when I used to do that for schools. If you don't know what that is, I used to do these shows in high schools for high school kids for Project Graduation. In other words, raising money for the class to have a graduation night kind of hangout thing. Instead of going out and getting blitzed and having a car wreck and dying, they would actually go and use this money to do kind of a shut-in thing and stay safe together but have a good time. And I used to do these shows 12 to 14 a year at local high schools around here. And they would come up with cool ideas of what to do in these shows, it was all lip sync for the most part. Some people sung for real. But for the most part, it was lip sync or a dance routine or a funny skit. And they would do the little man type dance, right? Which it's basically you're sticking your arms and head, maybe an upper torso, through a sheet, and had a tabletop that you put your hands on, but you put shoes on your feet, on your hands, and then somebody else was behind you and their arms would come out and be your hands. And it gave you the illusion of only being 2 or 3 feet tall. And then you would dance and kick your feet up real high, which is not even physically possible because it's your hands and not your feet. Anyways, this is one of those illusions, right? That's what this wheelchaired Myron is. A big prosthetic looking head with a human face. And like I said, human arms and a body that's, I don't know, about the size of a pack of sugar or a bag of sugar. We got Jacqueline Lavelle in this, who is an exhibitionist by any means, right? She's basically naked through the whole movie, not complaining one bit, but she is not afraid to be naked. There's obviously, and of course she was in, I think Playboy, Penthouse. I think she did some erotica stuff, right? We got Alexandra Quinn, who plays Ernestina, who is, a smoking kettle here, right? She's I don't know. She's the apple of the eye of everybody in this movie, even though she's one of the weirdos of the family. Of course, I think she was adult, porn star. Obviously, I hope I'm an adult porn star. What other kind of porn star is there? I hope we don't have, well, that's against the law. We won't talk about that. But anyways, so you're kind of seeing what we're getting here. We're getting some sketchy people in this. And these are these are the ones that are brought up first when you look up the cast, right? We got Bob Scott in this, which is SCHOTT. This guy's in, you'll know him as soon as you see him, right? Because he's this big kind of dopey blonde-haired guy. He's kind of a muscle build kind of freak, but at the same time, he's got this kind of dopey look about him. And that's what makes him get these roles. He was in Gymkata. He was in Force 5. What else was he in? That's the ones that really stand out to me when I think about him. So that's pretty much it. Well, it does say we have James Earl Jones in here as Wheeler. I'm not exactly sure where he is in the movie. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't remember seeing James Earl Jones. So, that's where I'm at on that. So, let's talk about this one. Yeah, weird old family. I mean, the movie opens up. It shows the house. Very, very Addams Family kind of looking house. Well, actually, it looks like the house from Texas Chainsaw. It's really what this house looks like. May even be. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's really, really close. And, you see, like, lightning striking. It's showing the house and all that kind of mess. And then all of a sudden, you see these 3 people walk out of it. This little bitty skinny dude with sunglasses, this hot blonde chick, and the big dopey blonde-headed dude, right? And they're going into town to get groceries, even though you don't know that yet. But there's this guy that owns this little diner in town, little scrawny. This is obviously supposed to be in the South, and so you got a lot of country slang going on in this movie. Maybe that's why I like this movie. I don't know, but you've got this guy. You got this guy that's our main bad guy. And he's kind of like your local bully, I guess you'd say. When I say he's the bad guy, I mean he's like the local town bully guy, right? He comes into this little diner and offers the guy that runs the place, which he kind of runs over all the time, and wanting protection, right? Offer the guy protection or being a partner, and this guy's obviously a guy that doesn't do anything for a living, just bosses other people around and gets into their business. He's a shakedown artist, basically, more than anything else. And he's married to Loretta. Now, while he's not looking, Loretta goes to the bathroom. And this guy is a-hole to everybody, right? Even to Loretta. Even though they're married, they're husband and wife, He talks down to her all the time, calls her chubby and all this stuff, and she's not by any means, right? But he's just being crude. She goes off to the bathroom, but that's not really what she's going to do. She's back there getting it on with the guy that owns the diner, which he's a little scrawny dude compared to this guy, right? But they're falling passionately in love, and I mean, this movie spends so much time with them getting it on. It's it kind of gets comical after a while, right? And they come up with this plan. We need to get rid of your husband so that way we can be together forever, because if not, he'll kill me. That kind of stuff, right? Well, one night they're out doing their business out in his car, the guy that owns the restaurant and Loretta. And when they're driving back, they see something strange. And what happens is these weirdos that I'm talking about that came into town, they take this piece of fence and draw it across a highway. It's got, leaves and stuff all over it to make it look like it's an actual wall or even just some forest, and an arrow that points for cars to take a detour, which leads them to the house. And what they're doing is they're getting people to come out there, and they're kidnapping those people, taking them in the house, and Myron is doing a practice on them. He's trying to find a way to transport his mind into their bodies. So apparently he's super intelligent, right? We don't know all that yet, right? But that's what the story is when you get down to the meat and potatoes of it. Is you got 4 people living in this house, and they're all connected. They can read each other's minds, so because they're all deformed, right, to a certain degree. But they use those weaknesses together to be powerful. The skinny guy, like I said, was wearing the sunglasses earlier. The reason he wears sunglasses is because he's got these eyes. He's got like Marty Feldman eyes. I mean, they're great, big, huge. He can see from a mile away. He can hear like nobody's business. And the big dumb guy, Otis, obviously he's the brute, right? So he can handle any kind of physicality. And then again, the girl of the bunch is Ernestina. I mean, she's there for one reason only. And again, when you see her, you'll know why. And so that's kind of the setup here. So it's almost like a crime lord, mafia boss using henchmen, except he's got telekinetic powers where he can like read their minds and stuff, and they all function together. That's kind of what we're getting here, right? And he's trying to transport his brain into another body so he can, have more physicality. And the guy that owns the restaurant sees what's going on. He sees them kidnapping this guy from Florida that's in a little pickup truck. And so he makes a deal. He goes in and says, hey, I know what you're doing here, and in order for me to not call the cops, I need you to do something for me. And he wants them to knock off, this guy that's doing the shakedown, Loretta's husband. So a pretty straightforward story, but it's really fun. Again, I'm really shocked at how much I had fun with this one. And it's the dialogue. I mean, it's goofy dialogue. They're having fun with it. You can tell they had fun making this movie. But anyways, things go from, bad to worse when Myron, again, the leader of the family, decides he's had enough of this mess, and he kidnaps Loretta, or has her kidnapped, and to get our hero to show up. And it's all about this information that he shared with the lawyers. That way, if anything happens to him, then the lawyers will call the police, and then this whole shindig that Myron's got going on will end. So that's the story that keeps this thing running, right? And so he kidnaps Loretta, and this guy is super intelligent, so everything to him is art or something to that degree, and ends up trying to set up a Joan of Arc setup with Loretta. He even has some of his zombies that he's worked on when he was trying to do all this brain surgery stuff. Everybody's got like a lobotomy. He's got a basement full of people that are all in a cage that he's tried to, fix up so he can jump into, and it's not working, so he just keeps them, right? And he's got a swamp out back that's full of cars where these people have been detoured, and he just rolls them off in the swamp or the lake or whatever. And again, it's Texas Chainsaw, it's The Burbs, it's a mafia movie, it's redneck, it's fun. I don't want to give too much more away because, it has a pretty, good outtake on the rest of it. I actually enjoyed this one, folks. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if it just hit me at the right time. I could probably watch this another time and be like, what is this crap? But at the same time, I don't know. I found this more enjoyable than really anything I've watched this week. And that's Head of the Family. It's on Tubi. It's on there for free, so you can check it out. And I recommend it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, right? I didn't love it. I didn't really like it, but I enjoyed it. I gave it a 3. So there you go, folks. That's it for this one. I say check it out. I think you can have a lot of fun with this one. All right, folks, that's it for this one. We will check you later.